Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. It's time for a Hidden Gems. Now, what is the Hidden Gems series? Well, basically, Hidden Gems is where I perform and talk about a trick that's been around since time began. Because here's the thing, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and all the latest and greatest tricks that come out, they're all well and good, but there's some tricks that have come out from years gone by that are just as good as anything that you're seeing that's being released these days. And for me, the Hidden Gems series is one of the most important videos that I do on the channel because it tells people about these really old tricks. There's new people coming into magic all of the time. And these new people that are coming into magic, they're seeing all of the latest and greatest tricks that are coming out, and they're rushing off to buy this trick or buy that trick or buy the other trick, and they don't what am I saying here? You know, they're buying the latest and greatest trick, and they don't look at the tricks that have been out in years and years and years ago. So today, on today's Hidden Gems, I want to talk about a trick that's really designed for stage performers and kid show performers and family performers. And I'm going to be talking about 20th century silks. And there's a reason I'm going to talk about 20th century silks. And the reason is very simple. The reason is that I've had a lot of people on the channel recently ask me what tricks are good for a kid show. And there's more people now than ever before that are asking about kids' entertainment. And I've answered a few people and said 20th century silks, absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, 20th century silks. And I've had people say to me, oh, I don't know what that is. Or, oh, what's 20th century silks? And it's amazing that nobody's heard of this. And I think the reason is it's as old as the hills. And even though, you know, new handlings come out every so often, like the silk frame and, you know, the Hanky Panky by Scott Alexander and Puck, rest in peace. Still a lot of people don't know what 20th century silks is, and I've been doing 20th century silks for years in family shows and in kids shows, and I've done it for a while. I don't do it anymore, but I did it for a long time in a cabaret show as well. And it's a super visual style of trick. It really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a performance of 20th century silks. If you've never heard of it before, this is a performance of 20th century silks. Now, to give you a bit of reference and to explain why I am dressed as a pirate, this is shot at Alton Towers in Staffordshire. For those people who aren't in the UK, Alton Towers is like Disney. It's like Disney. There's a few Disney style theme parks in the UK. Alton Towers is one of them. So is Drayton Manor. And for years I had the contract with for Alton Towers, and I've got the contract for Drayton Manor. But for years I would be performing almost nightly at Drayton Manor, doing 3 shows a night. And one of the shows took place in a pirate boat, because a lot of Drayton Manor is pirate themed. And so I would have to dress up as a pirate and go out and perform magic on this ship, which was as awkward as it sounds, to be perfectly honest. It really was. So I'm standing on a ship and I'm dressed as a pirate, but I'm actually performing 20th century silks. So the presentation is slightly adapted to talking about me and my life on the 7 seas, but it's only just slightly adapted. The point is, I went to watch this presentation, and more importantly, I want to listen to the moments where the handkerchief vanishes, because you'll hear everyone in the audience go, oh, adults and kids, and that's one of the reasons why I love this trick so much. Let's have a look at a performance of 20th century silks.
Okay, I can show you my favourite trick. It uses 3 hankies. Guys, in a big loud voice, what colour is this one? Yeah! Put that one there. In an even louder voice, and I mean a ridiculously loud voice, what colour is this one? Voice you can manage. Which colour is this one? Right, here's the idea. Who here has seen a film called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? When I sailed the 7 seas, that was the only film we could get on the TV, so I've seen it a million times. Now, who remembers the bit in the film where Charlie has a massive chocolate bar? And he takes the chocolate bar, he puts it into the machine, they press the button, it disappears in a million pieces, it flies through the air in 1,000 pieces, and it appears inside the TV, and Charlie reaches and takes it out. Who remembers that? Put your hand in the air if you do. I'm going to do a similar sort of thing. Other than I haven't got a TV, so I'm going to use these hankies. And also, I'm going to tie them together. And as well as the TV that I haven't got, I also haven't got a chocolate bar. I had a chocolate bar earlier on, and I lost it. It disappeared completely. No, it's not. It just vanished. It's magic. Okay, I ate it. So instead, I'm going to use the yellow hanky. Now, I've tied the two purple hankies together. I'm going to shove them down my top. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to make the yellow hanky disappear. This is going to be the chocolate bar. It's going to disappear. My hand's going to be the TV. Oh, it's on the bottom. It's going to disappear, and it's going to travel in a million pieces, and it's going to appear tied in between these two purple hankies for the big finish. Would that be a good trick? I need you to help me. Will you help me? Step one, you've got to put the yellow hanky into the hand until you cannot see it. It is really important that you cannot see that hanky. Now, once you can't see the hanky, no, you can't see it, so I put it in my... Oh, sorry, it's come out the other side. Sorry, there you go. So I put it in my hand so you can't see it. Now, once you can't... Sorry, I'm going to put it in the hand so you can't see it. There you go. I put it in my hand so you can't see it. There you go. Sorry, I'm just joking. You put it in your hand so you can't see it. Now, once you can't see it, you can make it... Sorry, I put it in my hand so you can't see it. So there we go. Right, you can't see it now. Can you see it? Good, can't see it. Right, now what's going to happen, now you can't see that hanky, is I'm going to make it disappear right in front of your eyes on the count of three. There you go. On the count of three, you're going to shout abracadabra, the hanky is going to vanish. It's going to become invisible, it's going to fly through the air, and it's going to land here tied in between the two purple hankies. So I'm going to put it into my hand, and all you guys have to do, I'm going to count to three, you're going to shout abracadabra. Are you ready? I say, are you ready? On the count of three, you're going to shout abracadabra, it's going to become invisible. 1, 2, 3! And now if I reach in my hand, you can see it is now completely invisible, and you cannot see it, which is really important, because you can't... Now you can't see that. Are you telling me you can see this hanky? Oh no, you can't. Oh no, you can't. Can you? Really? Are you sure? Okay, I'll put it in again. Right, here we go. I'm going to put it all the way into my hand. Now I'm going to count to three. I'm going to hold my hand out like this. You guys are all going to shout abracadabra. Can you shout really loud for me? 1, 2, 3. Louder! Let me show you. It's now invisible. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's not. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. No, it's not. Shut up. Yay. No, it's not. Shut up. Oh, you want me to open up my hand? You want me to open up my hand? Okay, there you go. Ta-da! Thank you. Thank you. This hand. Oh, sorry, you want me to open up this hand. There you go. Oh, you should have said this hand. I'm sorry, this hand. There you go. Put both hands at the same time. Like that. It's travelling through the air, guys, and for the big finish, it's going to become tied in between the two purple handkerchiefs right here that's been tucked inside my top the whole time. I'm going to pull them out. You're going to shout abracadabra, and you will see it tied in between the two purple handkerchiefs for the finale of the show. Get ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. Give ourselves a big, huge, massive round of applause. Who's had a good time again?
So there you go, that's 20th Century Silks, and there's a few things I want to talk about with this. So the first thing is, if you're a family performer, if you're a kid show entertainer, you can pick this up and you can buy it immediately, and it will give you a solid 5 or 10 minutes in your act. Now, you can do this in so many different ways. Ryland does a version of 20th Century Silks in his show, and he does it to music, and it makes a great piece to do to music. I do it, and as you can see, I use more of a pat or a presentation-based thing. If you go and have a look at Penguin or Vanishing Ink or Murphy's or something, and you look at Hanky Panky by Scott Alexander and Puck, you'll see the way they do it, and they do it very, very differently to anyone else as well. It's a great trick, but the key thing is, it's so visual. Now, the whole idea, and you can get cheaper versions of this that are really inexpensive. If you go and search 20th Century Silks on Penguin or something like that, you'll see lots of different versions, cheaper versions and more expensive versions. The key thing about 20th Century Silks it's that moment where you tied the two handkerchiefs together. They have been there in full view the whole time. The other handkerchief disappears, and then when you show the two handkerchiefs, that handkerchief is tied in between them. It's that moment that really kills people. Now, obviously, what you just saw is a performance to kids. So there's a lot of look, no, see. There's a lot of byplay. You know, the whole hook line about who likes watching films. I like watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That's just designed to hook the kids in and get their attention. But the point is, that moment where that handkerchief vanishes and it appears in between the two tied together handkerchiefs are great. Now, the way 20th Century Silks works is you can do what I did in that performance and tie them down, put them down your t-shirt, or you can have a wine glass on the table and you can put the handkerchiefs inside the wine glass so that the ends are putting out. That's done normally in a more formal cabaret style situation. You can just ball them up and put them on the table and then just pull. That's absolutely fine. But the point is those handkerchiefs are in full view the whole time. Now, generally when you buy a 20th Century Silks, you don't get a method to vanish the handkerchief. And if you're using a big 20th Century Silk set like I do, you need a way to vanish a handkerchief. And there's lots of different ways. You can use a change bag, you can use a Wonder Thumper. There's so many different ways of doing it. What I did in that video is I used a hank ball, which is basically a big flesh-coloured metal ball with a big hole in it. And you have it palmed in your hand and you push this in there. And if you're using a big handkerchief, it won't work in a thumb tip, but it will work in a hank ball. And then you can steal it as you roll up your sleeve or whatever. And you'll probably notice if you look back, as I did the body turn, excuse me, I ditched it into my pocket. And that's a great way of doing it. Using a hand ball is fantastic because it's all done in the hands. From a presentational point of view, I was doing this to a family audience. There's kids in the audience, there's adults in the audience. And when you're performing for kids, obviously you want to ham it up. And that's what I was doing there. Hey, it's in this hand. Hey, it's in this hand. Hey, it's in this hand. I love doing that for kids because the thing is already gone, but they still think it's here, which gives me time misdirection. I'm putting a big disconnect between the actual moment of magic and the perceived moment of magic. From my point of view, the actual moment of magic is when the move took place, which is when I stole the hank ball and shoved it in my pocket. But the perceived moment of magic is when it's a minute later and I've been fannying around like this and then I open up my hands and you get that, oh, wow, because there's such a long disconnect between the two moments, if that kind of makes sense. However you want to vanish the hank is fantastic. It's fine, whatever. You vanish the hank however you want to. I like using a barehanded vanish. Ryland doesn't. He uses a completely different approach, but I like using a barehanded vanish. The appearance is the thing that you get with 20th Century Silks because they are tied together. They can clearly see there's two handkerchiefs tied together. They are on display the entire time, and then boom, you just pull and it appears there. If you are looking to add a trick into your act and you are a kids performer, if you are a family performer, if you're looking to add something visual on stage, whether it be to music or whether it be patter-based, this is something you absolutely should consider putting into your act. It may be as old as the hills, but it's just as good as anything else that's come out. So yeah, I love it. It's called the 20th Century Silks. You can get it from all good magic dealers. There's lots of different priced options. That's this week's Hidden Gems. So there you go, guys. That's another Hidden Gems in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, you want to see more videos like this, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video. Also, don't forget, if you want to join the Netrix, you can do so. Just go to www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. You can go check out what all the fuss is about and why everybody is joining the Netrix right now. And I'll be back again soon. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you again. My name's Craig from Magic TV.